The phrase "choose between two evils" is a common idiom in the English language used to describe a situation in which a person is faced with two unfavorable options or choices, both of which are undesirable or morally questionable to some extent. It reflects the dilemma of having to make a decision when there are no good or completely satisfactory alternatives available. When someone says, "choose between two evils," they are acknowledging that the options at hand may both have negative consequences, and the decision maker must select the lesser of the two undesirable outcomes. This phrase is often used to express the complexity and difficulty of the decision-making process when faced with such a predicament. This idiom can be applied to a wide range of scenarios, both in personal life and in broader contexts, such as politics, ethics, and business. It underscores the idea that life sometimes presents us with situations where compromise or sacrifice is necessary. In personal relationships, individuals may encounter situations where they have to choose between two friends or family members in a conflict, each with their own flaws or wrongdoings. They might say, "I have to choose between two evils here," acknowledging that neither choice is perfect, but one must be made to address the situation. In politics and governance, the phrase is often used to describe difficult policy decisions. A leader or policymaker might face a situation where they have to choose between two policy options, both of which have negative consequences, but are seen as necessary evils to address a pressing issue. For example, a government might decide to raise taxes or reduce public services to address a budget deficit, recognizing that these choices are not ideal, but are required to manage the financial crisis. In business, entrepreneurs and executives might encounter situations where they have to make tough decisions regarding their company's future. For instance, a company may need to lay off employees or cut corners to avoid bankruptcy, knowing that these choices are unpleasant, but may be the only way to keep the business afloat. The phrase "choose between two evils" also plays a role in ethical and philosophical discussions. It raises questions about moral dilemmas and the nature of ethical decision-making. Philosophers often explore scenarios where individuals must make choices between conflicting moral principles, and this idiom encapsulates the essence of such ethical challenges. Furthermore, "choose between two evils" can be relevant in discussions about public policy, where policymakers grapple with complex issues like healthcare, climate change, or national security. In such cases, policymakers may be faced with difficult trade-offs and must decide which course of action will result in the least harm or negative consequences. In conclusion, "choose between two evils" is an idiom that captures the essence of difficult decision-making when confronted with two undesirable options. It reflects the complexity of life in the recognition that choices are not always between good and bad, but often between varying degrees of unfavorable outcomes. This phrase reminds us of the importance of thoughtful consideration, weighing the consequences, and making the best decision possible given the circumstances. It also highlights the moral, ethical, and practical challenges that individuals and leaders may face when navigating complex dilemmas in various aspects of life.